You come back to your haven after a long night on the town. There's still some time before the sun comes up, but sometimes you just need a little break. Relax. Watch TV. As you open your door to the haven, it's clear something is wrong. You hear moaning from within. Oh, that's not good. Stepping cautiously in, you see a man splayed on the floor. 40s, strong build, wearing a black suit, one of Sophie's servants. His face is a mess, and there's a piece of bone sticking out of his leg. The ghoul moans through his broken teeth, only half conscious. Just as you're about to do something, the door to the apartment flies off the hinges in a loud crash behind your back. Freeze! Don't move! You turn around to see at least 6 police officers storm your apartment. 2 point guns at your face, while the rest spread out to check the other rooms. One of the cops pushes past you into the living room. There's a body here. We're going to need an ambulance. He's still breathing. Bewildered, you gather your wits. There must be some way out of this ridiculous situation. Please, calm down. This is all a big misunderstanding. The cops hesitate and lower their guns. Can you explain what's going on here? As the rest of the police search the apartment, you decide the best course of action is to buy time. You're glad you follow Sophie's rule that a haven should never have anything that endangers the masquerade in it. I've never seen that man in my life. Of course, sir. Is this your apartment, sir? Suddenly, you hear a commotion out in the hallway. Sophie walks into the apartment, surrounded by an entourage of serious-looking men and women in dark clothes. Some of them flash badges at the officers present. You feel the power of Sophie's blood, almost like a physical sensation on your skin. There's no saying no to her. This man was with me when this terrible act of violence occurred. He has an airtight alibi. You've rarely seen Sophie wield the full extent of her powers. You're not sure how much is supernatural ability, and how much is bribery and political connections. It doesn't matter. The injured man works for me. He must be hospitalized this instant. If he doesn't enjoy full recovery, there will be consequences. For 15 minutes, you watch as Sophie imperiously orders the police officers around. Some of the people she brought with her also seem to be police, but you're not sure. You catch Sophie grimacing in the direction of an empty corner, and something tells you that there might be a third vampire in the apartment. Or stalker, perhaps. The injured man gets carried away on a stretcher. The cops leave without even checking your ID. Will there be problems? No. The police know to avoid this house. This was an anomaly. Your stalker was here, but now she's left. Her name is Adelaide Davis, in case you were wondering. A lunatic. Truly one of the more pestilent clans. How can I stop this from happening again? You can't, but we can. I'll arrange a little chat with Miss Davis. Later, you'll join me in Elysium and deal with this problem like the vampire you are. With words. So it's a Malkavian stalking us. Also, Sophie's got something against Malkavians, apparently. The idea of spending the day in a haven that's just been raided by the police seems risky. But you decide to trust in Sophie's assurances. It's not like you have anything else to go on. Sophie requests your presence tonight, and it seems urgent. You find her already waiting for you, and clearly considering something. It takes some minutes of awkward silence before she speaks. I require your assistance, Lamar. There is a matter of great importance that I need to ask you to resolve for me. You will find what I am about to say surprising, I'm sure, but I need you to hear me out. I need you to contact an important Anarch figure in New York City and arrange a meeting for us. What business do you have a meeting with the Anarchs? They're the enemies of the Camarilla, isn't that right? That is nominally true. There's much bad blood between our factions, but it's not as simple as a state of constant war. You will find that with this, as with many other things, the Camarilla's policies have more than their share of hypocrisy inherent to them. It comes in hand with using medieval power structures. What we are forbidden to do, the Prince may do willingly. Some of these things can be done in the open. Others are kept secret, as to not invite discord and discontent. I need to contact a man named Torque. He's an influential member of the movement, and like most of them, very suspicious of the Camarilla. That's why I'm sending you to extend my invitation. How do I know he'll even talk to me? He won't. Not yet, anyway. You need to start further down the chain, and with the right story to spin. From my limited sources adjacent to the movement, I've gathered that your best chance to speak to Torque is to first meet with his right-hand woman, Mia. She's a regular at a club called the Leech Pit. I think it would be best if you presented yourself as an Anarch hopeful, a fledgling looking for a place to belong. Only once you talk to Torque directly should you mention my name and the meeting. I don't know, Sophie. It sounds risky. What if they heard of me? What if I slip up and mention you by accident? I leave the approach to your discretion. But know that you have to accomplish this on your own. I cannot get myself involved. There's too much at stake. After tonight, I suggest that we do not speak of this again until you arrange the meeting. There are many who would jump at the chance to use this against us. With Kaiser, you have proven you can get the job done, even if it requires additional legwork. I am trusting you to deal with this task as quickly and covertly as possible. Forgive me, but that's all the time I can spare tonight. What I'm asking of you is just a part of a bigger whole. Trust me, it will all be worth it. Okay, I'll do my best. I know you will. Check with Gregory for the address of the Leech Pit. Have Mia introduce you to Torque. When she does, tell him I wish to meet. Let him pick the time and place, but let it be soon. If he proves too guarded, tell him I have something that will help him gather allies against Boss Callahan. That should pique his interest. Good luck. And obviously, not a word about this to anyone. Not even any new friends you've made in recent nights. This stays between us. The way she says that final sentence suggests a not-so-veiled threat, but her warm smile belies that impression. You want her to keep trusting you. You wouldn't want to disappoint her. Gregory gives you the address. The club is in Brooklyn. Apparently it's some kind of heavy metal pub, with a dedicated concert space. Time to pay this Mia a visit. The place is teeming with people tonight. You arrive in the middle of the concert. The music is loud, almost deafening, and it takes you a while to get used to it. The noise hurts your ears. This venue isn't suitable for this kind of music. None of the instruments sound the way they should. The cacophony sets you on edge. A group of a few dozen patrons are tightly packed in, and the smell of their sweat and youthful, excited blood overwhelms you momentarily. It's with some difficulty that you turn to the task at hand. You've heard your share about the ANARCHS and how they fit into kindred politics, but you only have your short encounter in Corona Park to base your actual opinion on the faction on. That might have been just a horrible first impression, but you are keeping your guard up just in case. Feeding on their territory would be a really bad first impression, so I'm gonna mingle with the crowd. You take a walk around the club. There's a few side rooms and a spacious bar area. You listen in on conversations taking place with voices hoarse from shouting, walk in on a particularly sloppy threesome in the bathroom, and eventually hit the floor for a better feel of the room. As the concert's coming to an end, you witness one of the guests, a feisty-looking girl, getting into a scuffle with a much larger and drunk guy. She doesn't seem to appreciate him reaching around her waist, slapping him with an audible crack that sends him to the ground, unconscious. I love her immediately. 2 bouncers break up the crowd and pick up the drunk to carry him out, without so much as questioning the woman. You get an inkling that she might be the one you were hoping to find. You approach her as she's about to leave. Yeah? Well, oh no, she's hot. Why is everyone so hot? Though she does... She looks like Helena Bonham Carter. Yeah, what the fuck do you want? She's still seething and bares her teeth for just a moment. But you've learned what to look for in a kindred. You're pretty sure she's one of you. I'm kinda new to this whole being dead thing. Care introducing me to the way you ANARCHS handle it? Ah, seriously? That's the best line you could come up with? She doesn't smile, but she doesn't hit you either. Follow me behind the bar. She leads you through the bar to a back door that leads inside a side room. Indie metal band posters are plastered on every wall, some of them 20 or more years old, judging from the tour dates. An old, sticky table and some rickety chairs are the only pieces of furniture here. Sit down. Sure. You take a seat, and the woman leans on one of the walls. The name's Mia. Guessing your visit here isn't just a happy coincidence. I don't know you, so you're either new in New York or kept an outstandingly low profile. Both sound suspect. So before we take these pleasantries further, answer me this. Who do you run with? Camarilla, I guess. But I'm looking to switch. Is that so? She looks you up and down. It's hard to read her. Okay, sure. I'll bite. Let's get one thing out of the way. She leans in. If this is some clever ploy to ask me of my domain, or if you're just here to spy on me and the movement, I'll make sure that you don't enjoy undeath much longer. Got it? You can tell it's a purely rhetorical question. Right. Here's the pitch. Caramel like to think they're the vanilla option. What with Prince Bitch Panhard pretending they were always in charge. But New York has never been a fully cammy city. They might have won the city in '99, but Cams got their asses handed to them many times over the years. And the movement has been here at least as long as they have. Hell, I'd moved to NYC before World War II. That was a good while after I'd seen the Camarilla for what it is. A way to keep us all in line and subservient. The ivory tower will tell you they're the only safeguard for the traditions. That's kind of the problem. There's only one tradition we in the movement feel should be respected. The masquerade, obviously. Everything else, ask the prince, and she'll tell you it's the logical continuation of the masquerade. But really, it's just a way to keep the elders powerful and in control. She grimaces. But here's the thing. For the talk of us bloodsuckers being solitary creatures, we need a community to keep up the masquerade. Community, yeah, but authority, not so much. We need a council of peers to keep the assholes and power-drunk fledglings in check. Not a feudal prince to tell you where to feed, who to hunt down when they step on her toes. She takes a brief break in her indignant rant. So, you anarchs don't have a ruler? Ruler? No. But leaders? Sure. Must follow old Boss Callahan's lead. You make it sound like it's most, but not you? Yeah, not me. You're concerned about being well received in the city, you might need to go through Callahan. But if you're serious about the Anarch cause itself, he's not your guy. Callahan's eats up fledglings like you and shits out self-preservation. His position as Baron is mighty shaky now, not least due to the fact he's backstabbed more than his share of allies. So he's doing what any other old fart in a position of power would do. He's doubling down. Negotiations are out. Intimidation is in. Tightening ranks is a precaution against the Second Inquisition. She surprises you by hacking and spitting on the ground in disgust. You spent some time with the Cams, that should sound very familiar to you. He's no better than Panhard and her cronies at this point. No, you need to contact Torque. Once you know it, it's your lucky night. Because I'm the lick to do it through. Torque, huh? Why him? Because he's one of the good guys. Or at least as much as we leeches can be. Torque is a leader. A local baron who's overseeing a small domain, but he's doing a very good job of it. Callahan knows this, so he's giving him shit. Torque is taking it like a champ. He's smart like that. From one of us rebels, he's got the patience of a saint. So he's Bruja. Makes you think back to how things used to be, way back when, if the stories are to be believed. Anyway, you want to meet him? Gonna require a show of goodwill first. That's fair. What do you have in mind? She flashes you a mischievous half-smile. I'm gonna need you to eat this whole watermelon in one gulp. I appreciate your readiness, but I don't have the details yet. Ask for me at the bar when you're able. I'll leave something for you and we'll take it from there. Now come on, I gotta be going. She walks you out of the bar and you go your separate ways. Seems like there's nothing more to do than return here later and see if Mia really can help you contact Torque. Interesting. Who the... Okay. You've had enough of Adelaide Davis. It's time to head to Elysium and confront her with Sophie by your side. Let's do this. Visiting Elysium with Sophie is always a humbling experience. She's connected, well known and important. You're a nobody. You've always known this, of course, but it's especially apparent when you come in with her. Everyone notices her, and she drinks it in like it's her birthright. That's Adelaide Davis. Let's go say hello. You spot the woman Sophie is referring to. Adelaide, your stalker. Intense, disheveled, young-looking. A Malkavian, if you've understood correctly. As you approach, Adelaide looks at you with undisguised hate. My two favorite people. Oh, she's scary. I love you too, Adelaide. Adelaide looks from Sophie to you and laughs mirthlessly. The sound is creepy enough to make people glance towards you. I'll never stop. You should know that. I'm relentless. What is this all about? I understand why you hate me, but why hate Lamar? Adelaide looks so angry. For a moment you fear she'll hit you, Elysium or no. As if you don't know! They called me a creep! That's very insulting. Especially to somebody like me. Was that when you were creeping, invisible, in my haven? Yes! Sophie sighs. You have to stop. Otherwise I'll take this to Kadir. Do that. I have friends much more powerful than him. Just please stop. I never stop. Never, ever. Adelaide locks eyes with you, ignoring Sophie. Let's talk later. We'll have some fun together. Adelaide walks away. Sophie watches her go before she says anything. She's a lunatic. They say all kinds of things. Don't worry about it. She knows that if she crosses the line, there will be consequences. Sophie steps away to chat with her friends, and you look at the kindred around you, wondering how many would really help you in times of trouble. Probably not many. Oh, I got an achievement. I want to look at it, but it's got to look weird on screen. I got... complete Adelaide's questline as her bitter foe. Oof!